Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It is the Tuesday night flight, and as you can see and as you can tell, there's only two people on the stage tonight for the show. It's the dynamic duo. It's the Gentleman Jack. It's the Midnight Rider coming to you live this Tuesday night for the Tuesday night flight. With that being said, Jack, what you got going on? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I was out there on the water today, and it looked like a bunch of storms are coming across the Chesapeake. Man, I'm not sure. Maybe it was just rolling clouds, but it was nice to get out on the water again.
I think they said we were supposed to have something tomorrow in terms of weather, storms and everything.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
But don't get me the line. I mean, I got as good a chance as the weatherman being right, so it don't matter. I just don't have the fancy computers. Just so you know, guys, we'll be getting into today. We got to recap the weekend football, update you on some news that comes from the weekend. We'll do that after the recap. Talk a little MLB real quick. After that, we're going to get into some other things, and that's going to be it. We're going to try to get you in and out of here. I'm not going to try to hold you too long. Try not to do no overtime. It's just me and the Gentleman Jack, so we should be good, depending on your comments. And with that being said, let's start it off. Big game this weekend gives us a chance to preview the Commanders' upcoming opponent. We got the Green Bay Packers 27, the Detroit Lions 13. Anything you saw, anything you stood out to you, Jack?
That Green Bay defense is for real, man. I knew Parsons was going to be a big key, and he was disruptive on the, 45% of the plays, maybe 40% of the plays that he was in there on. That Packer defensive backfield is solid. That interception made later in the game, he jumped that route. That was nice. So Detroit shut down. Help me out, Midnight Rider. Detroit's running back. Which one's number one? Hall?
Running back is Gibbs. I think Gibbs is wearing one this year.
One of them had 10 receptions for 31 yards. It's the fewest yards ever recorded on a 10 reception game. So Green Bay was prepared for that, backfield passing game with Gibbs and Montgomery. So, kudos to Green Bay, man. And Jordan Love looked sharp. So Jacobs was pounding the ball. When's his fuel going to run out? When's his motor going to break? That guy's just continuing. Him and Derrick Henry are just two well-built machines, man. Athletic and fit, fundamentally fit guys. So, yeah, great game by the Pack. Go Pack, go. All right, JoJo, I said that for you.
I'm trying to pull what you were talking about. This was an interesting game because this was kind of what everybody was looking for today, or actually Sunday. Trying to see if there was this Ben Johnson hangover for Detroit, starting with two new coordinators. What would they get offensively? It looked like the Packers just bear down. Their defense looks legit. The Packers defense came out and really set the tone, and then having Micah, even if you only had him for, I think it was 29 plays, the fact that whatever you got from him was just bonus because you weren't expecting him. You didn't go into the season expecting him until you got to Tuesday or Wednesday the week before. So that's just a bonus. And then you get another game this week to just add more to it. And hopefully you can get him into a space where, by week 3, he's up fully loaded and ready to go and run. And that way you can get everything going off the bat. So that's just the kicker right there. Even with the early Thursday night game, I think it helps them in the long run because he can get his feet settled. He has those days after Thursday, the mini bye, as they like to call it. And maybe he can settle into the place, maybe get him a spot to rent. All the little things that you have to deal with when you get uprooted so late in the season, so late in the regular season, I should say, before the season starts. So that's just the first thing I noted. Anything else you have on this one, Jack?
No, I definitely, barring injuries or anything, I definitely think Green Bay is somebody to reckon with. Somebody to reckon with.
Definitely. And you said there was a stat. Yeah, I see it. Um, yeah, Gibbs had 10 receptions, 31 yards, average 3.1 yards per reception.
Crazy. For an elusive back like that to get 30-some yards on 10 catches, I mean, in the norm, him with 10 catches is 80, 90 yards.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, just looking at some of the stats here, Jordan Love, 16 to 22, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 19, 66 yards, 19 carries, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. Looks like they spread around the receiving core. The most receptions was Jaden Reed, 3 catches and 45 yards on the Green Bay side. On the Detroit side, 31 to 39 for 225 was Jared Goff with a touchdown and an interception. Running game couldn't get going, it looks like. Montgomery, 11 carries for 25 yards.
Mm-mm.
Gibbs, 9 carries for 19. The big catch or the big receiver for the night was Laporta, 6 receptions, 79 yards. But again, nothing else really. And yeah, that's it.
Now, Green Bay did their homework. Green Bay had a great game plan. If you look at it, I mean, they stopped the duo out of the backfield from getting them swing passes or even a wheel route. And if you shut down the running backs for the Lions, man, you're busting up 40% of their offense, in my opinion. What did St. Brown? Did he play?
Yeah, he had 4 for 59 yards.
Oh yeah, I see him now. Mm-hmm. But nothing to talk about, long of 19. So, they were making it tough for Jared Goff. I mean, 31-39 is not bad percentage-wise, but he wasn't able to get them deep passes that they no home run balls,
Right. Definitely. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup. The next matchup is the Niners versus the Seahawks. Interesting matchup. Real quick stat line. Brock Purdy, 26 of 35, 277, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. McCaffrey, 22 carries, 69 yards, no touchdowns. Ricky Pearsall, 4 receptions, 108 yards. And then Christian McCaffrey with 9 receptions and 73 yards, no touchdowns. Kittle scores a touchdown, and Jake Tongs scores the other touchdown.
King gets hurt.
Kittle leaves the game with an injury. Somebody else left hurt for San Fran. One of their receivers. I got to double check that. But I know Kittle's already been placed on IR. He's going to be out for 4 weeks.
It don't surprise me at all. 49ers are they're going down the same road.
Yeah, with none of their pass catchers.
Yeah, no, they're going down the same path that they went last season.
So Seahawks, Darnold, 16 to 23, 150. Zach Charbonnet, 12 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown. Kenny Walker, 10 rushes, 20 yards. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 9 receptions, 124 yards. Cooper Kupp made his Seahawks debut with a 2 catch and 15-yard performance. That was pretty much it on that side. What was your takeaways, Jack? Or what did you think?
I mean, the game wasn't too exciting to me. Like I say, San Fran, they just injury bug hitting them the same way it did last year, in my opinion. Purdy just didn't look right. Threw 2 picks. Yeah, McCaffrey's going to do what McCaffrey's going to do. And I think teams are fine with that. They just shut down all the rest. And all the rest is almost already shut down because they're hurt. You
Yep.
know, Kittle got hurt early in the game. He second half, he was in street clothes, and his man made the game-winning touchdown. That was a great grab in the corner of the end zone by the backup tight end. I think he was actually third string tight end. So that was a great grab to lock the game up.
Thing that stuck out to me was the fact that Charbonnet had 12 carries, Walker had 10, and I was just reading an article where that's kind of going to be their story for the rest for the season, or at least early on. Other thing that stuck out was that's 31 touches for McCaffrey. You can't ease that
Mm-hmm.
old. You can't do that with the wear and tear that man has on his body. He needs to lighten that load. That should be 25 touches, maybe 15 rushes and or 18 rushes and 7 catches, something like that. Go ahead, you shake your head, talk to him.
Yeah, that's just not how McCaffrey does, man. And he looks good. He looked good to me. Purdy is he's dinged up. Purdy's got a
Yep.
toe and a shoulder, I think it was. So their backup is the boy that was with the boy that was with the Patriots.
Bailey Zappi? No.
No, that
Jones,
young
Mac
guy said
Jones. Mac
Mac
Jones.
Jones from Alabama. So that would be who would start for San Fran if Purdy can't get back. So I don't know. Purdy seems like a pretty tough dude. I'm not sure a toe and a shoulder going to hold him out, but they didn't. Neither team showed me much to be worried about at this point. But it is week 1, so you're going to see games like that.
I think you're gonna see games like this all September because teams didn't really play. Um, I know everybody wants to push the preseason narrative, and some of that is true. Other part of it is just it takes a while for football to actually come into focus. And I always say right around week 6 is when we start figuring out who's the contenders, who's the pretenders. Um,
Right.
and it goes from there, man. But otherwise, it's gonna be a while. And it's gonna be a struggle. I see a comment. I'm gonna get to it now. Um,
For some teams, yes.
yes. Who's Vincent Randall? Vincent Randall says, "Bang bang Nana gang."
Say again.
Mac Jones. Vincent Randall. He says, "Bang bang Niner gang." Mac Jones will beat Saints. Um, he said JJ number 50,
Well, that
15.
ain't saying much.
I think that's the other person that got nicked
That
up.
ain't. Yeah,
Brock
but
is going to be
you know,
fine.
Mac Jones,
Need new coach.
Saints, didn't they had Rattler in for a minute, then they benched him, then they put him back in. So the Saints got a whole circus over there. I tell you, the Saints and the Dolphins probably the two that showed me the least this week.
Yep. And let's see. I think we have that. Honestly, that was an embarrassing performance by my Dolphins. I wasn't shocked, but it was still disappointing that they didn't even decide to put up a fight against Indianapolis. That's a
And
ball
then they're
club.
arguing. They're
Hey,
arguing
when the
on the
ball,
bench.
yeah, but I mean, the last guy that left, um, called out the coach for not being a disciplinarian. So that's kind of where it started right there. When Jalen Ramsey got traded, that started some of the murmurs. But I thought we were hearing some of the murmurs before that trade even went
Mm-hmm.
down. I mean, if you go look on any sports betting line right now, the guy that is the first coach to be fired or the favorite is Mike McDaniels. I think it's him, then Daboll. And that's crazy that he
Mm-hmm.
even took Daboll's place on that list. So that tells you what
You know,
what they think about him. Go ahead, Jack.
I wanna comment to Vincent. Vincent says something about Brock's going to be fine. Need new coach. Kyle's trash. I disagree, Vincent. Kyle Shanahan is not trash. That team is not it's not even 60%, man. There's so many injuries in the 49ers organization right now. They got none of their top receivers. And like I say, now you got a quarterback with a bump on his toe. It's not Shanahan. Niners need to be healthy. And I mean, getting rid of Debo didn't help. But I agree with you. I think they'll be okay. I don't think they're going to be a team to be superly concerned about this season. Could they backdoor a wild card? Yeah, possibly. But I don't see the Niners being a threat this year.
Well, I mean, we just looked at them against Seattle, and Seattle wasn't impressive. Um, we get to see them against. I mean, what's the? Oh, why did that team just drop out my head? Seattle 49ers, Rams. That's what I'm thinking about. The Rams. What's the? You still don't know if Matt Stafford gonna make it the whole year with the Rams. So that's going to be a thing. I think as long as they can stick around and stay in the fight and just don't cost themselves enough ball games with these injuries,
Yeah.
they can make a run down the stretch, just kind of like the Rams did, and finish out strong, and they could possibly steal the division in this scenario. So that's how I see that going and playing out. Is I think that division alone will definitely come down to the back end of the schedule, where the schedules are very division laden on purpose. With that being said, let's move on to the next ball game.
Which one is that?
Next up is the Buccaneers, your Buccaneers, versus the Falcons. Buccaneers 23-20, and a tight ball game where somehow, some way, Atlanta just hasn't figured it out that they got to get a kicker. Atlanta loses more ball games every year because of their kicking game. It's ridiculous. Either the kick is hurt, and then they bring in somebody, and he doesn't have a strong enough leg, or the kick, what's his name, Young Wei Koo, he has a bad day, and when he has a bad day,
he'd been all right.
Yeah. But it's just like the same.
He's been all right.
And then here we go. So Baker Mayfield, 17-32, 167 on the day, 3 touchdowns.
Buccaneers. Go
ahead. Running game, not too much to talk about. Bucky Irvin, 14 for 37. Baker, 5 for 39. In the receiving game, Emeka Egbuka, 4 receptions, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 5 receptions, 51 yards. And then on the Atlanta side, Michael Penix, 27-42, 298, 1 TD. Running game again, non-existent for both teams.
Nice.
Algier, 10 for 24. Bijan Robinson, 12 for 24 yards, no touchdowns. Bijan did catch the ball a lot, 6 receptions, 100 yards, 1 TD. Kyle Pitts, 7 for 59. And then Drake London, 8 for 55. Again, I mean, I just don't know what it is. I don't know why Atlanta can't get a kicker. What were your thoughts on this?
Baker Mayfield, he didn't have big numbers passing wise, but he controlled this game and made the big plays when needed. He was scrambling well. He was great on his feet. They did just enough. Their game was sucky, but not as bad as Atlanta. Atlanta only had about 50 or 60 yards rushing. Tampa Bay had over 100. I mean, it's not blowing people away, but they did, control the ball a little bit with their run. And Egbuka making them big touchdown catches, man. He was the one that really won this game for Tampa Bay. When Baker got the ball and they was down a few toward the end of the game, man, that post pattern to the end zone was money. I mean, they had Evans. Evans did a crossing route in the middle at about the 5-yard line. And how do you say his name? Egbuka?
Yes, yeah, let's go with that.
Egbuka. He did the post, and that was just a beautiful touch by Baker. So Baker Mayfield quarterbacked the game. He didn't throw up gaudy numbers, but he controlled the game enough. I thought Atlanta was going to win, but uh, I did pick Tampa Bay. I thought Atlanta could give him a shot. Great debut by Penix, season debut by Penix. I've been a Penix fan since he was at Washington. So been a lot. Had some nice debuts from young quarterbacks this week. Maybe we'll get into that later. But that's what I saw at that game in Night Rider. Tampa Bay controlled it enough to win at the end. Because it's amazing. I'm blown away at how fast teams can score. Like if you look at that Minnesota game the other night, they was down like 20 points with 6 minutes left. I might be
Mm-hmm.
off a bit on the numbers there, but it was crazy how much Minnesota and JJ, that's my boy, JJ McCarthy just got off. So yeah, it was Tampa Bay did enough to win.
Well, since we want to talk about scoring in bunches late in ball games, let's go and transition to the Bills versus the
Oh
Ravens.
man. Oh
At one
dude.
point, this ball game is 40-25. I think that's probably the middle of the third quarter. Most people turned their TVs off. Most people went to make dinner, did something else, and they came back, or they saw Sunday night. They came back and found out the ball game was 41-40. So I didn't mean make dinner because that's too late to be making dinner, but make them a late night.
I was doing something. I was, either emptying the dishwasher, putting laundry in. I was doing
Yeah.
something because it got a little boring there for a minute. But god damn, Allen turned it on, bro.
Well, the problem is the Ravens.
So did you
I'm
read the
gonna call
numbers?
them every team with an R besides their proper name. Seems like in this set, but the Ravens do this every year. They've lost more ball games where they've had double-digit leads since 2001. I think they're at 17 was the stat I saw. But they do this every year. Once a year is one of these, and then sometime later on in the season, they're going to lose a ball game to a team they shouldn't lose to, and it's like their version of bingo to complete their season.
Mm-hmm.
Is they have to do each of those things at least once to make you shake your head and get you off of this team. Uh, let me see if we can get some numbers on this real quick.
I
Because
thought the Ravens look fine. They look good. You know, they just shit the bed in the fourth quarter. There's no better way to say it. They shit the bed in the fourth quarter. I did. I thought the Ravens offense looked good. Defense was spotty, very spotty. But you got Allen throwing for 400 yards and rushing for another 30 with 2 touchdowns rushing for the big guy. I mean, the numbers all around the board favor the Bills, but I don't know. I mean, Henry got all the yards for the Ravens. I don't even think Lamar threw for 200. Let me pull
so
that.
let's go through the
209.
stuff.
So
Yep.
go ahead, baby.
No, I was gonna say let's run through the stats real quick.
Please.
Josh Allen, 33 of 46, 394, 2 touchdowns. Those are the passing touchdowns. James Cook, 13 rushes, 44 yards, 1 touchdown. Josh Allen, 14 carries, 30 yards, 2 TDs. The man that had a coming out party, Keon Coleman, 8 catches, 112 yards, 1 TD. And then Khalil Shakir, keep doing what he's been doing. 6 receptions for 64 yards. Solid performance from the Bills. And then we go on the Baltimore side, like you said, Lamar, 14 of 19, 209, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 18 carries, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar, 6 carries, 70 yards, a touchdown. Zay Flowers, 7 catches, 143 yards on a touchdown. And then probably one of the more controversial touchdowns, the DeAndre Hopkins, 2 for 35 and the 1 touchdown. And that's the one where the fan gets involved and then they end up having to eject the fan for touching the players and pushing on the players.
He should have been Minnesota. He should have been kicked out. kicked out of every stadium in the league. Ooh, that was a little harsh. But yeah, he hit Lamar pretty hard, dude. I mean, Lamar's neck snapped. The first helmet he hit wasn't that bad. He was just top. But when he hit Lamar, man, it had some umph in it. And I think it was proper he got kicked out. So, and
Now I
did you
don't know.
notice Mark Andrews? Mark Andrews almost non-existent.
Yeah, but it's early for him. So I don't always. He's
Toast.
another guy that I think he's got to get that gas going through that motor oil going through the engine first before he gets started. Good.
You got to come out. You got to come out like Kelsey did. You got to come out like Kittle did. You got to come out with one playing. And I mean, I like Mark Andrews. I just think he's about at the end of the road.
What?
And Derrick Henry, damn near 10 yards a carry, Midnight Rider. Damn near 10 yards per carry. That's unreal too. But that fumble, can't forget about Henry's fumble. 169
that was
yards
huge.
ain't nothing when you take that fumble, baby. So, yeah, that was it right there.
Sorry, man, I got caught up on the note.
Know what I mean, Vern?
I know what you mean, Vern. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's funny that I think what you saw from those two teams is two quarterbacks that, as long as there's time and they can win you a ball game and they can will you to a win. And I think this is kind of what Washington has now, which is why later on Thursday when we talk about the Packers and the Commanders, like I think they have all the chance in the world because you got one of those guys. You got one of them hymns, or is that what they say? Himothy? They got him. So I'm gonna roll with that. Next
But yeah,
up,
get to that question. Anthony's chiming in. Let's see what he's saying. You want to take Anthony's comment?
some of this one. Jack and Midnight, the Discord scare you a little
Yes,
bit.
sir. I'm just trying to...
I think did the score scare you a little bit when it comes to the defense of the Ravens because people were saying they're going to be one of the best defenses in the NFL this year. Nah, because you got one of one on the other side. When you got Josh Allen, you aren't holding him in the ball game, no matter how good it is. Like it's got to be a deficiency on his side in terms of his weapons or his teammates not coming to show up. So I don't worry about that score in this type of ball game because they don't have plenty of time to beat up on some other teams in the division. I mean, hell, Pittsburgh and the Jets had what 35-32 respectfully. That doesn't mean Pittsburgh's defense is any worse or anything. It's week one. So we can't draw any conclusions yet on any of these teams. You know, most teams haven't lost somebody. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought Baltimore was going to put more points on the board. I knew Buffalo was coming back. That offense wasn't going to go take a break.
Yeah,
it's just Baltimore didn't do well their last three possessions. So Buffalo took it from them. Took it. That's the only way I could see it. Buffalo took that game from them.
Okay.
But it's week one, so I'd rather have that happen in week one.
All right. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break because I'm having some technical difficulties over here. Let's see if we can get this going. And if we can, we'll be back in 15 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Tuesday Night Flight. We are the Gentleman Jack and the Midnight Rider coming to you live and direct and in color, I think. Maybe in black and white, depending on your
black and white, salt and pepper.
Caught me off guard. I'm sorry.
Might go in there. Just don't spit
So
your juice out.
let's see. Let's go into this game because this is the other half of, excuse me, the combination of the Commanders and the Packers that's going to play on Thursday. We can give our recap right now. So, with that being said, Jack, what's your thoughts? Commanders 21, Giants 6. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to give your thoughts real quick, I'll pull up the stats and give them to you once you're done.
Sure. Washington played a fine game. I feel they should have scored more points. In this NFL, 21 points is not going to win a lot of games. It's just not. Uh, New York's defense is job-like, but New York's offense is trash. I know you talking Jackson Dart ain't coming in until week 6 or so, but by the performance Russell Wilson put on Sunday, I don't see how they don't just go straight to Jackson, man. Because Russell, he wasn't even, oh, he wasn't even 50% passing, dude.
He wasn't. He was
Shit, he
17.
was 40-some percent. Go ahead.
You know, I'm gonna say he's 17 to 37, 168 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He
Trash.
did have 8 rushes for 44 yards, which led the team. And then Neighbors had 5 receptions, 71 yards. Wandale Robinson, 6 for 55. That was their
Mm-hmm.
side. On the Washington side, Jaden Daniels, 19 to 30 for 233 and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, 10 carries, 82 yards and a touchdown. Jaden Daniels, 11 carries, 68 yards. And then on the, I got to give you Debo. Debo had 1 carry
Oh.
for 19 and a touchdown. And then Debo
Mm-hmm.
also had 7 receptions for 77 yards. And that's pretty much your stat line for the Commanders versus
Yeah.
the Giants.
Well, Midnight Rider, Debo was the MVP of this game. Debo started off fine. He looks very comfortable. He enjoys the squad. You can just see it by his body language on the field. Krosky Merritt's got to get started soon. He needs to get his 15 to 20 carries, and he'll give you $120, $140. That boy runs hard. He averaged 8 yards a carry, and I think Eckler averaged a high 3.38, something like that. But Eckler's not a starting running back in this league, in my opinion. He's a third down back, and we need to see Bill in the starting backfield position. He ran the ball great for us Sunday. Happy to see him get his first touchdown, and he let the ball go again. Jaden ran over and grabbed it real quick. I saw that. But the Giants ain't do shit. And then you look down on the defensive side, Midnight Rider. Darren Payne got in the backfield and got a sack. Payne was in the backfield quite a bit. And then who got that other sack for us? Armstrong. Armstrong got one. So both of the sacks came from the inside, man. So I was happy with our pass rush. The run, they didn't run all over us, but they got a few breakouts. So I give the Commanders I'll give them a B on defense and a B minus on offense.
Yeah, I thought this was a game where you could see the rust. You saw some things happen that you normally don't see. You saw Ertz drop a pass on the first drive. You saw
Mm-hmm.
um, Jaden be a little inaccurate at times, and I just think but when he got settled in, and he did this last year, the first game, it took him a while to get settled in. Once he got settled in, he took a couple carries. It was one up the middle that I didn't like, but once he got to moving, it was fine. I think I know you want to say Krosky Merritt should start, but I don't think this run game depends on who starts. It's all about who finishes the ball game. And when it came time to salt
You're right.
away
I can see that.
and win the ball game, as they say, winning time moments. Their winning time moment was giving the ball to Bill and letting him do his thing, and that was the key to this whole thing. Was he got about 10 carries. I think if they had caught a couple balls and kept a couple drives alive, didn't have. I think they had 12 penalties for 89 yards or something like that. So if they can clean some of that up, I think you have more possessions where you're getting third and short, and you can get Bill to get you the first down, and that carry total goes from 10 to 15 or 10 to 17. Because I think you got to think he was off for most of last year. He only played the 2 games, the opener and the season ender in the blue gray game, not the blue gray game, the Shriners game. So I went old school with the blue gray.
Check this out, Midnight Rider.
Yeah, talk to me.
You did. The Commanders had 12 penalties, man. That's unacceptable. That's too damn many. 5, 6, 7, but not 12. They had 12 penalties. But the key thing that I really enjoyed about this game, and I hope we continue to do it because we were very good at it last year, don't turn the ball over.
All right.
No turnovers Sunday. So that stand back from where they were last season. They had very good numbers in turnovers and stuff last year. So the penalties, got to cut the penalties back a little bit. But other than that, man, I think Washington dominated. I ain't going to say the word dominated, but they overwhelmed them in the numbers.
No, I mean, they imposed their will to a certain extent because right off the bat, you had Kinlaw just blow up a play, 1 yard loss first on the first play. Then they came back and Kinlaw and Payne did something else. Like they were very disruptive. You may not say dominant, but you can use the word disruptive to talk about this group on Sunday.
And we haven't seen that in a while, Midnight Rider. We haven't seen the middle of our defensive line be disruptive in a while.
No, we haven't. And that's the key. And I think that's the key to this whole rebuild. Is they went out, rebuilt this, and then the kicker to the rebuild was making sure the defensive line could stand up to everything else and be a factor in important moments. We'll go back and say it again, winning time moments. Being a factor in winning time moments was the key to all of this. All right. Let's see. Let's get out of this. You got anything else on this? Commanders game? Jack?
No. That Chicago game last night, I saw some things in that was interesting, but yeah.
Hold on.
Chicago.
Go ahead. Keep talking. That score was 27-24.
Chicago, Williams. Yes. He definitely has shortened some of his dropbacks, so he's getting rid of the ball a lot quicker. I think he did get sacked twice last night, but not as much as last season. I got sacked damn near 70 sometimes last year. But I thought Minnesota and J.J. McCarthy looked really good. You know, JJ was a professional. You know, he had some tough times in the first quarter, second quarter. They say he took it upon himself on the sidelines and in the locker room to work with the offense and the wide receivers. So that's awesome out of a young guy like him. He didn't throw for 1,000,000 yards, but he made it count when it was needed. And that block punt at the about 7-minute mark by big boy Eric Wilson blocked that punt, and Chicago was getting ready to pin him deep, but the punt was blocked, and Minnesota had the ball at the 38, 40-yard line, something like that. Perfect position to go down and score the winning touchdown. So I think Chicago is going to hopefully if it's a rough ride, a bumpy ride, hopefully they learn a lot. But everybody, I think somebody in the sideline junkies picked Chicago to win the division. Ooh, Lord, I need some of that stuff, boy. But yeah, I think it's going to be another learning year for the Chicago Bears. Hell, they ain't been in the playoffs since the 2000s. They ain't been in the playoffs in like 20 years.
Well, I
They
think the
haven't had
last
a winning.
the
Yeah.
last quarterback that took him to the playoffs was Mitch Trubisky.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just that being, the Monday night game last night, and it's a good game to watch. And I think JJ McCarthy's going to be fine. He throws some nice balls. And Minnesota's, I'm gonna say it again this year. Minnesota's got the best wide receiver core in the league. You ain't gonna get much better than Addison and Jefferson. And then you throw what's his name? Hawkinson. You throw
Mm-hmm.
Hawkinson in there as a tight end. Shit. I tell you, Minnesota's got a nice wide receiving core. So
Yeah. I mean, I think the kicker, I think what you got last night from JJ after he got settled, you get a performance. This is him at Michigan. 13 to 20, 143, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He manages the ball
mm-hmm.
game. 15 carries for Jordan Mason, 68 yards. I think he's going to be their main back. And I think Aaron Jones is going to be the change of pace guy. Aaron Jones with 3 receptions for 44 yards and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson with 4 catches, 44 yards and a touchdown. On the Chicago side, Caleb was 21 to 35, 210, 1 touchdown. He rushed for 6 carries, 58 yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Swift,
Mm-hmm.
17 carries, 53 yards. DJ Moore, 3 receptions, 68. And a name familiar to all Commanders fans from last year, Olamide Zaccheaus, 4 receptions, 42 yards. And then Rome Odunze, 6 for 37 and a touchdown. So
All
that's kind of
short
the stat.
passes to Odunze. They didn't go long for Odunze or Moore hardly at all. Because I think that 30-yard reception Moore got was only like a 8-yard pass, and he extended it. So the weapons that Williams has, I think, are adequate. He's got some talent around him. Is it Williams? Is it the coordinators? Is it the coach? I don't know what's going on in Chicago, but it's going to be a learning year for them again, I think.
Well, I mean, if you listen to your boy when we was doing the college quarterbacks when they were coming out, I told you before then. I said the only thing that bothers me about Caleb Williams is his maturity, and is he going to be willing to stick in the pocket and make the plays from the pocket. And in the first half, he was Dr. Jekyll. He did everything he was supposed to do. I think he was more on time in the first half, and then the second half, he became Mr. Hyde. I hope I got those references right, but yeah, he became unpredictable.
No, you're
He
right.
threw. He had one play where he lost track of where he was on the sideline and gave up a freebie sack to somebody because he stepped out of bounds while he was trying to throw a pass. Then when he was trying to go into the end zone, late in that ball game, right before the 2-minute warning, was another play where he tried to stick the ball out and he stepped out of bounds again. Just awareness and making winning time plays. And I think to me, last night, I felt like Ben Johnson still was a coordinator. Like he did this against the Commanders too. He got a lead or got things started early, and then I think he struggled to have a plan for what's next. And I think that's going to be his downfall. I think that's something he has to figure out and fix. I don't know if he has to script his second half or what, but they need something else from him to make this thing work. We got comments.
I'm not sure who's
Let's
who
go
on that,
here.
man.
Washington has not allowed a TD all season. That's from KG, more than likely. And I'm not sure what these other ones are, so I'm gonna leave them alone. All right, let's get out of that. Um, Gentleman Jack, you want to go baseball or college football next?
Let's shoot some baseball.
All right, let's take a quick break
Talking
and we can come back with some.
baseball.
We're gonna talk some baseball. With that being said, we are the Sideline Junkies, and we'll be right back after this quick break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It's the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Tuesday Night Flight. He is the Gentleman Jack. I am the Midnight Rider. We're just here walking you through some recap from the weekend. There was one piece of news. There was a trade where the Eagles acquired Tank Bigsby from the Jaguars, running back, for a fifth-round choice. So now I think the count is up to, I think, 4 choices that the Eagles have moved. They had 4 fifth-round picks, and they've moved them or maneuvered them around to acquire talent in this short season that we've already gotten into, which is pretty interesting and pretty cool, to be honest with you. You said MLB. Let's go. Let's go to you. Let's start with something you did this weekend. This weekend,
What I do?
Maddie hits me with a message in the What's Up app, and he says there's something going on in Cleveland. So when Maddie says that, I'm like, all right, I can't say what's going on, but something's going on. And then Jack responds 5 seconds later, oh, they got a no-hitter in Cleveland. And Maddie responds, just as Jack text
No.
he hit, they got a base hit. So the no-no was broken up. The no-no was no mo. The combined no-hitter was broken up. May not always blame Jack for this, but we know it wasn't his fault. Just thought we had some fun with that. So what was you thinking, Jack?
Yesterday, well, I was watching some baseball yesterday, and I was in and out on that Cleveland game. A lot of crooked numbers again, man. It's been like this all year. The big numbers. The Guards ended up winning that game 10-2. And then the Nats, your Nationals, crushed the Marlins 15-7. Then you had a little old school game with the Mets and the Phillies 1-0. And then the Twins threw a 12 up, even dozen on the Angels. And there was another big number somewhere. Oh, yeah, San Francisco put up 11 on the Diamondbacks. It's just like I've been noticing double-digit numbers almost every night, it seems. Let's see what happens Sunday.
Well, let's see tonight.
Yep. Sunday, 18 by the Mariners, okay. 10 from the Brewers. I mean, you let somebody score 18 on you, dude? That was the Braves. Jesus Christ. So, and there's some games currently going on now. You got that in there, Robin?
Yeah, so right now, this baseball tonight scoreboard is brought to you by absolutely nobody. If you have nobody to sponsor anything, then nobody can sponsor the segments.
Nobody.
Pirates and the Orioles are tied at 2. Looks like this is the top of the 9th. Nationals 7, Marlins 1. That's the bottom of the 8th. Mets 2, Phillies 7, top of the 8th. Tigers 7, Yankees 2. That's top 7. Astros 3, Blue Jays 1, bottom of the 6th. Cubs 2, Braves 1, bottom of the 7th. Tampa Bay 4, White Sox 1, bottom of the 5th. Rangers 1, Brewers 0, bottom of the 3rd. Guardians 2, the Royals nothing, and that's a final. And looks like tonight we have coming up, got a decent slate. Twins Angels at 9:38, Reds Padres at 9:40, Cardinals Mariners at 9:40, Diamondbacks Giants at 9:45, Red Sox Athletics at 10:05, and Rockies at the Dodgers at 10:10. You got a decent enough slate. You might be able to get a parlay in.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, that was your sideline
I'm
junkies
thinking about that late night Joker. Yeah.
brought to you by absolutely nobody. Go ahead.
In that slate, Kyle Schwarber hit his 49th home run for the Phillies tonight. Schwarber is just having a hell of a season, man. What we got? Aaron Judge hit another brick tonight. Aaron Judge is at, what numbers he got?
He's got to be around the top
Judge
40.
hit his 43rd tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was higher up than that.
Leading the league. But it's at 49 right now is what it said.
Yep, that's right.
So I was just checking on some of the home run leaders. I don't see if Cal hit one. I don't know where the Mariners are playing. They're probably on a late night schedule.
Yeah, they were in the 9:45 slot.
Mariners. Yeah, so we'll see if Kyle gets one. I mean, not Kyle. Cal Riley. So yeah, that's what I've been saying on the scoreboard. I was looking for the standings.
I got the standings right here, Jack.
Let's see what we got going on.
So in the American League East, Toronto is leading. They're only up 2 games. They've got the Yankees behind them by 2, and Boston behind them by 3. So that's going to be an interesting race to see how that finishes out. And it looks like as long as they keep winning, the teams.
Well, Toronto's kind of cooled off. They're 5-5.
Well, they can't close out a ball game. Their bullpen is stinking up right now. Detroit is leading.
I saw that.
Detroit's leading the Central.
Central.
Yeah,
I think Cleveland's taking their way out.
Houston's up by 2 on Seattle and 3.5 on Texas. So, but the way their win totals are, you got to win the division to get in, and you have an outside chance at the 3rd wild card, depending on how this plays out.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting in its own right because it's Seattle, Texas, and Cleveland battling for the 3 spot or the 3rd wild card. I think New York and Boston are pretty safe in the 2nd wild card spot, or the 2nd and 3rd wild. I mean, the first
East is going to send 3.
Right.
I think the East is going to send 3 definitely.
And I think that's what we had.
I just don't think Cleveland's. I don't think Cleveland's going to have enough wins.
They're at 74 right now, so they're on the outside looking in. Texas has 76. I'm sorry, 75. And Seattle has 76.
Yeah, Seattle's ahead of them.
And then in the National League, you got the Phillies up by 8, Milwaukee up by 7.5, and the only true fight for the division is the West, where the Dodgers are up 1 on San Diego. Quick eyeball test. Looks like
Chicago, San Diego, and maybe the Mets.
I think it's the Mets for sure because the next closest team, San Francisco, has 73, and Cincinnati has 72. And we're at the 144 game mark, so it's 18 ball games left. So we're at that point where
79 wins.
Yeah. It's gonna get real interesting in that regard.
Yeah, a couple more weeks and it's gonna get down to the nitty-gritty.
Now, we covered college football a lot in the Sunday show. But we do have a tradition on this show where the gentleman Jack gives his top 10. Is you want to do that tonight or you want to do that Thursday night?
No, we can do it tonight. I'm looking at Anthony. He's asking us to look for a question about Notre Dame. I don't see it.
That's the question you asked at the beginning of the show, I think. All right, hold on.
Was
Let's
it?
go. Yeah.
Oh, I see it now. As a fan of Notre Dame, when you heard the YouTuber that covers Notre Dame football say that the good and bad thing about Miami is that they're unintelligent thugs and undisciplined. Um, I don't know, Anthony. I don't have no reason to use words like that in describing a ball team, but that's a YouTuber, dude. YouTubers can do and say what they want. So if that's
Yeah, I
bothering
mean,
you, man, then I don't know what to say, bro. You gotta let that just go. That's a dumbass.
yeah, I think that's the part of the clickbait nation right there. He just wanted to
Yes,
get some
yes.
attention, and that's one of the things that's annoying sometimes is you watch some of these guys and they don't believe half the stuff they're saying. They're giving you their best Stephen A. Screaming A. Smith. Um, I'm dead serious, man. It's crazy
It's
because I'm
right.
watching because they all start off the same way. Um, they're all hype and they're like, yeah, this is Mike, and I'm a fan from BYU, and here we go. And it's just like, all right, dude, whatever. Okay. Yeah. And it's just they say nonsense, they say enough stuff to create a reaction or bait you in for a reaction. I felt like nothing that I
Correct.
saw from Miami was even in that realm of the thug thought process, and all of
Mhm.
that. Um, can you read? All right. So let's get to Jack
Yeah, that was.
Wags. Let's get my man
What's
Jack
up,
Wags.
J Dub?
J Dub. He said, "What's up, folks?" Um, Anthony Midnight Jack. Why haven't baseball fans learned that it's a curse and a jinx to talk about a no hitter in the middle of a no hitter? You end up ruining it. Just keep your mouth shut. Hey, man, I didn't say
I
nothing.
know that.
Maddie didn't say
I know
nothing.
that. I don't care. I know that. I know all about that jinxie shit, man. I just felt like messing with two of my baseball guys.
Oh man. All right. So
That's what's
let's.
up with that, Anthony, man. I
You
was
got
just
your
joking with my boys.
You got your the AP College Top 25 up. If you don't, I can get it while you do your top 10.
Yeah, I don't got the AP up right now. No, you pull AP.
All right, I'll pull AP. You go ahead and start yours, and then I'll match it up.
Well, I want to start out with just a few big performances from week 2 in the college football. Uh, there's a quarterback over at Baylor, Sawyer Robertson. My boy had a game against SMU in a, I believe that was an upset of SMU, 48-45. He was 34 out of 50 for 440 yards, 4 touchdowns. Quarterback rating of 168. Cheese and rice. And then who else was balling out there? There's a guy Cam Cook from Jackson State, 29 carries, 195 yards. Uh, Appalachian State's got a nice little running back, Rashawn Davinian. He had 194 yards rushing. I'm just going with the big boys. Waymon Jordan at USC. USC's got 2 nice running backs, baby. This
I've heard
boy
that name
here,
before.
Raymond Jordan, 67 yards rushing for him. So there was some good running, some good running. But my top 10 this week's got some changes, man. Because, like I say, I didn't like the preseason AP poll from jump. But I'm going to stick with what I got and go with it right now. And my number 1 team is still the same team holding the spot for me, Penn State. They defeated Florida International 34-0. You know, it's the early season cupcake games coming. Drew Aller threw for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. My boy, Katron Allen, 16 carries, 144 yards, and a tutty. I'm telling you, Penn State's offense is just smooth. And K-Tron's my guy. You remember last year I kept talking about K-Tron. We had a dude named K-Tron in my neighborhood. When K-Tron coming, dude, you don't want to be around K-Tron. Kind of like that cat on Friday. What was his name again? Debo. Yeah, K-Tron is like Debo around our way back in the day. So the number 2, I got the Ohio State Buckeyes. They beat Grambling pretty bad. 70-0. Hung 70 on them. I mean, that's just nuts. But Julian Sand had a hell of a game. 18 out of 19 passing tonight, Ryder, for 306 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 pick. 18 out of 19? I mean, I know it was Grambling, but you still got to get the ball to your boys. And over to Ohio State, they got a running back that some of us are familiar with his dad. They got Bo Jackson over there running. 9 carries, 108 yards, 1 touchdown. That's Bo Jackson's kid?
I don't think so, but we'll look it up.
Okay, I was curious about that. Number 3 spot, I still got LSU there. They defeated Louisiana Tech 23-7 to hold their record to 2-0. Garrett Newsmeyer, I like him, man. 26 out of 41, 237, 1 TD and 1 interception. You got Barryon Brown with 8 receptions for 94 yards, holding it down for LSU. But Garrett Newsmeyer, he's going to be on my list come soon. Number 4 spot, Miami Hurricanes defeated Bethune-Cookman 45-3. Carson Beck was doing nice, 22 out of 24 for 267 and 2 touchdowns. Solid game for Carson Beck. Up next for Miami is South Florida. So that's going to be something right there. And up next for LSU is Florida. So there's 2 nice matchups in the top 10 coming up this weekend. So in the number 5 spot, I got the Oregon Ducks. They're still 2-0. Gunnar Stockton, 26-34, 227. Kobe Young, 7 receptions, 76 yards. Oregon's offense is running like it's been running, like a well-oiled machine. They defeated Austin Peay 28-6. Hold on. Oregon is Dante Moore. My fault. The quarterback for Oregon is not Gunnar Stockton. Quarterback for Oregon is Dante Moore. And Oregon defeated a tough Oklahoma State team, man, 69-3. Just handled Oklahoma State. That's not really a cupcake to me. Georgia, number 6 spot, defeated Austin Peay 28-6. Again, I think they should have scored more. That's where Gunnar Stockton had that nice game of 26-34, 227. At the number 7 spot is a new team to the JC Top 10. I spoke to them last week. They defeated Duke in a tough game. And I'll tell you, Duke's not a sappy team in the ACC this year. They haven't been for the past 5 years. But Illinois cracks my top 10 Midnight Rider at the number 7 spot. They defeated Duke 45-19. The quarterback I was speaking about last week, and the name just wasn't there, is Luke Altmaier. Luke Altmaier is a nice quarterback. 22 for 31, 296, 3 tutties. They got Hank Beatty for 8 receptions, 128 yards. Illinois, man, I expect them to stay in the top 10 and possibly go to the championship tournament at the end of the season. I feel it strong. Number 8, I got Florida State. Florida State defeated East Texas A&M 77-3, man. Woo, cookie. Florida State improved to 2-0. Quarterback Tommy Castellanos, 8 for 11, 237 and 3 touchdowns. Midnight Rider, he completed 8 passes for 237 yards. Woo. East Texas A&M, that's what's up. And then number 9, I got South Carolina, 2-0. Lenora Sellers, 11 for 19, 128 yards. He just managed the game. Handled the win against South Carolina State, 38-10. And holding down the number 10 spot, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is 0-1, and they were idle. I don't get what's up. How you get a bye game when you only play 1 game? That's why I dropped them.
Well, they got Texas A&M next.
Spot or 2, because they didn't even play. Yes, they do. They got Texas A&M coming to Notre Dame to play. Carolina, believe it or not, man, they got a tough matchup with a Vanderbilt team that people need to keep their eye on. Just keep your eye on that Vanderbilt. And then another matchup in the top 10, number 6, Georgia, is going to play number 15 at number 15, Tennessee. I expect that to be a nice game. So as far as top 10 matchups, we got LSU in Florida. We got Miami in South Florida. We got Georgia and Tennessee. And then the game I'm putting down is going to be a good game, South Carolina versus Vanderbilt. Keep an eye on that game. So dropping out of my top 10 this week, Midnight Rider, Clemson Tigers. I'm sorry. The loss to LSU in the beginning, all right, you lost to a top squad. That's fine. But trailing Troy at halftime, come on now. Tigers got some stuff to straighten out down there. And I hope they get it straightened out in the next couple of weeks. So that's what I got with my top 10, man. You see anything you like, you don't like, you want to change? What do you like on this?
No, I like the way you have your list set up because I figured somebody was going to drop. I didn't know if he was going to drop Notre Dame or South Carolina. And you seem to be right in line with the AP. The only thing that AP has that you didn't have is Texas. But you replaced Texas with South Carolina. So that's really your only difference right there. Just to go with the AP top 10, just so the fans at home know what they got. Ohio State at 1, Penn State at 2, LSU at 3, Oregon 4, Miami 5, Georgia 6, Texas at 7, Notre Dame 8, Illinois, and then closes out with FSU with South Carolina and Clemson on the outside looking in.
Okay. I got Texas and Clemson dropped out of the top 10.
Right.
I got Illinois and Florida State Seminoles new to the top 10. So
right.
That's where it's at. And Florida State, they hanging on by a thread there, you know. Put up big numbers. That's kind of the reason I put them into the top 10. But and that boy getting 237 yards on 8 pass completions. Every pass must have been 40 yards, dog.
Right, exactly. Or he had a couple 80-yarders in there.
Yeah. So, like I say, I'm looking forward to Saturday's slate of college football games. There's some other great matchups among the top 25. I just gave you the good matchups in the top 10, and there should be 4.
Okay. All right.
That's my week 2.
Let's see. Where do we want to go here? Let's go to this. Let's wrap this shit up, B. We done did 1 hour and 10. We said we was gonna be around this mark. Anything else that you?
All right. Yes, we did.
Anything else that you forgot about, thought about? Popped in your head, remembered all of a sudden?
Oh, let's get this. Did we get this last question from Anthony?
No.
I understand it's against Bethune-Cookman, Jack. Go ahead, please, Midnight Rider.
But did you see Carson Beck broke a 40-year-old record by Gino Toretta for most completions in a single game for Miami Hurricanes history? I didn't see that, but good for him. I mean, I think Carson Beck is. I don't know. I still haven't made my mind up on him yet.
Talking about, was it most consecutive completions?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is.
Because he only had 22.
Yeah, it's the most consecutive. I'm sorry.
Most consecutive before he got broke. Yeah, I'll go with that. But like I say, Bethune-Cookman, man, that's a step below a private school, high school, dude. I do say a lot of the lower level college teams look good because, you know, the facilities, the working 24/7, 365 on your craft, it's just a different skill set nowadays in here, and everybody's got good players.
Yeah.
So I look for some of these lower teams to make some noise. And like I say, a team like Vanderbilt, uh, Illinois is one that people haven't heard from in a while. People are really talking about Vanderbilt. I was listening to an SEC channel today. New car. My wife's new cars got Sirius for like 6 months. I miss Sirius XM, so I get
You
to
gonna
listen to
you gonna
all
wear
my
it out.
sports channels. Oh, am I? I listen to the SEC John, and he's just like, when's the last time you heard somebody say, "Uh-oh, Vandy's coming to town"? And the first thing I thought was spring baseball. Spring baseball. That's the only time you worried about Vanderbilt. But this
Well,
football team,
this kid Pavi is going to at least make them competitive in ball games where they wouldn't have been
yeah.
competitive any other time.
Mm-hmm. And then Duke plays Tulane this weekend, and Duke's quarterback Nissemeyer, he's a transfer from Tulane, so he's going back to play his old team this weekend. And I'm not because I'm a Duke fan, because Duke football hasn't really been nothing to harp on. They've been solid the last 5-6 years. But I tell you, this team here, man, they got a nice quarterback and they got a hell of a running back. I'll get some more information to you. I expect to see Duke crack the top 25 this year in football.
Okay. On the baseball side, I think you just mentioned this, but I wanted to double down on it. Kyle Schwarber smacks number 50. Juan Soto
Oh, it
tonight.
was 50.
Juan Soto joins the 30-30 club tonight. Anything else? Oh, Jalen Carter for his spitting incident. He gets a fine, but doesn't get anything else. So, yeah. And then, am I missing anything? Nope. I think that's it. That's all we're going to. Oh, and Judge hits career home run number 359, moved him into 5th place on the Yanks all-time list. And there you go. And if you don't have anything else,
maybe we'll get into that MVP weekend. Maybe we'll get into that MVP race and everything this weekend.
Yeah, let's do
MVP,
that Sunday.
Cy Young favorite.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah, so go ahead and let's write that down and make sure we put that in the comments or whatever so we can remember it. But with that being said, folks, we want to thank you for joining us, the Sideline Junkies, the podcast network. Because you could have been anywhere else besides here with us. For all those that commented, all those that sent questions, all those that asked questions. We thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. We may not always get to all your questions, but we try to get to as much as we can. There's some other things that go on in the background that you can't see. So sometimes we're picking through stuff, trying to get to the right comments because there's some other comments that don't belong on the network. With that being said, this is the Tuesday Night Flight.
Yeah.
I'm the Midnight Rider. He's the Gentleman Jack. We technically don't do any overtime, but we do overtime because we like to see it on our check. So thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for joining. Don't forget tomorrow. Tomorrow we got a very interesting interview, 8 p.m. Mr. Melvin Parker in the passenger seat. Check your email. I sent you the email. Thursday we had Thursday Night Throwdown. We're supposed to have our Green Bay Packers consultant, JoJo Evans, on the show.
Confirmed. Yep.
Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. Sunday, the Sunday Rise. And then Monday, we back at it with drive time and Pretenders and Contenders, recapping the weekend of high school football at Laurel High School. Speaking of which, shout out to the PG County schools today because they rolled out their flag football program for the young ladies. Today was game 1, and basically they have 4 pods at 4 different schools where the teams start like at 4 o'clock and they play their games that way. So I haven't got any news on scores, but congratulations to those young ladies. This is also part of the program that we talked about a couple of weeks ago that the Commanders were involved in, where they sponsored the team's jerseys. So all the teams last night, I think, had a jersey reveal showing their colors and showing their jerseys from the Commanders.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's
So
tight.
so they played today. I know they played today at 4 at Laurel. I don't remember the other sites, the other 3 sites involved. But with all that being said, um, stick with us. We support high school. We support a little bit of everything. Um, he's the Gentleman Jack. I'm the Midnight Rider. We'll see you tomorrow when we talk to Mr. Parker. Have a great night, because we are out of